welcome to another video. And look, I have finally found out how I'm going to have my camera in my new room. I'm really happy with this backdrop. Yes, there is a space on the bookshelf there, but it's actually an award I won, but it's like see-through. I won an award. It's my first award I've ever won, so it's quite precious to me. So I put it on my off-tone shelf, which is just there. So yes, I have a video today, and I'm actually going to be recommending some romancy novels because it's Christmas, and I don't know, there's something so magical about Christmas, and magical reminds me of romance, and romance reminds me of Christmas and love and everything. So I've got my pink hoodie on, and I'm ready to recommend some books that are romance driven or have romance in that I really liked reading about. Now, just a disclaimer, okay, a disclaimer. I've got a book to share with you which has some diverse romance in, and it's actually a gay relationship, which I'm so happy about. Being a gay teen, I'm like, teen? I'm not a teen, I'm 22. But being a gay male, reading books that represent my sexuality is so important. When I started BookTube, I have to put my hands up and say, like, I didn't read many books that represented me as a person in the sense of who I love. Being a gay male, I obviously like boys, or like a boy. I'm with my boyfriend, I love him, it's nearly been 3 years. So I've got a book to show you, so I'm gonna grab it because I'm ridiculously excited about it. Where are you, boy? Now, the book is called The Fire of Fire and Stars by Audrey Colhurst, and I'm absolutely so goddamn, can I swear, fucking excited to read this book because gay romance is about two girls, which I obviously like can't wait to read about. And I'm really glad that we've got this book that's mainstream, and it's about, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know there are lots of books out there now which represent gay romance, and I'm really looking forward to diving into them. I've got things like, what's that book called? Where are you, boy? Simon vs. the Homo Sapien Agenda, The Song of Achilles. I've got quite a few, Boy Meets Boy or something like that. I've got quite a few to read, but yes, I'm equally excited about this. Anyway, let's crack into the books that I've picked for this about romance novels or books with romance that I really enjoyed and why. So let's get cracking. I've got a big pile, so I'm going to try and get through these as quickly as possible, giving one main point to why I like the romances in these books. In no particular order. The first one I am going to be talking about is Shadow to Strength by Wendy L. Wilson, and the reason why I like the romance in this one is because the boy is very protective of the girl. You don't really know why he's protective. Is it instinctual? Is it just because he really likes her? But he's very protective, and I think a protective partner and being protective to your partner is really important. Now, for those who want to know more about the book, it is a paranormal YA about shapeshifters in modern day, about a girl who meets an attacker. Well, she didn't meet him, but an attacker comes and gets her at night time and tries to sexually assault her, and this animal comes out the woods and stops him, and the animal keeps coming back after the days to keep check on her and keep her safe whilst this sexual assaulter is still at large. And it turns out that this animal is actually somebody who has taken quite a liking to her, and he is a shapeshifter. So if you like the sound of that, go check out the Goodreads page down below. Next, I'm talking about a book which is filled to the rim with amazing romances, and that is Throne of Glass. Now, give this video a humongous thumbs up if there is at least one ship in here that you cannot actually live without. Now, there are so many relationships in here that I'm like completely obsessed with, so I'm gonna just stick with the one that I like the most. I might pronounce the names wrong, but it's Aileen and Ronan Wright. I think I got that right. I mean, don't get me wrong, I haven't read this since the summer, so my brain is starting to seep away, but the romance in this series is just so amazing. At first, I really loved Celine and Carol. I think I must have said her name wrong, but the reason why I like the romance in here, especially for Aileen and Ronan, is because of their mutual understanding of each other. I love that they have this mutual understanding of each other's inner feelings and outer life. I just love it. I think it's brilliant to really have a partner that you understand, so that is why I love you. And if you don't know what this book is about, which I think a lot of you will know what it's about, it is about fantasy, fae, an assassin living amongst the people she's supposed to assassinate, but is just basically begging for her freedom. And then she basically realizes that she's pretty goddamn special and she might not ever get her freedom because a lot of people rely on her. So, love you. Ooh, what's next? Next, I am going to talk about this one, Song of Princess by Janelle Rhiannon. Now, this is a Troy meets the Odyssey / Iliad. It's a very amazing and poetic take on the whole story of the Odyssey and the invasion of Troy and Helen of Troy, and it is one of the most interesting novels I've read. And the romance in here, the reason why I like the romance in here is it's very old worldy. It's very what romance would have been back in ancient Greek times, and it makes me feel quite nostalgic nostalgic because I've been brought up on stories of Greek mythology. So reading this and learning about, you know, the relationship between mother and fathers and relationship between fathers and sons, it's that romance in here that I really like. I think it's a wonderful read and it's so magical, and not magical in the sense that it's magical. I mean, there is mythology in here that makes you think, oh, are the Greek gods real? But it's magical in the sense that it is so true to history in a way, and the other books that she's read that's inspired this. So I'm down to read this whenever. I love the Homeric Chronicles. So yes, go check out this book. It's so good. And also cover love. Woo! I look a mess today, but I just don't care. Okay, next is Inherited by Frida Matthews. Now this is a YA pirate novel, but it is very romantic. It's about a crew of 8 pirates, all cursed that they cannot say they love somebody. If you say I love you, it means that that person will die. And obviously when you love somebody, you want to tell them you love them, but you can't. So it's about their journey to break this curse and the lengths they go to. Can we just for a minute admire this cover? Like, it's absolutely stunning, and I believe you can get it from Barnes & Noble's, Book Depository, all the online sites, all ebook sites. So if you like the sound of that, you should definitely check it out. The reason why I like this romance is because romance in real life, you always come across barriers and obstacles that you need to overcome. And in this novel, obviously they have the major obstacle of not being able to say that they love somebody, and the guilt of accidentally killing somebody if you do say it, and also other obstacles that, you know, we would face in a not YA fantasy world, you know, other people and all these different insecurities. So I love Inherited. It's such a wonderful read, and if you like pirate folk YA tales, or if you've never read a pirate YA, you should definitely check this one out because it's filled with sea witches and fairies and magic and romance and grittiness. So yes, Inherited, I love you baby, and I love this cover, like dying for the cover. Next, I'm talking about Updrift by Erin Stevens, and this is a mermaid YA novel, and the reason why I like the romance in this is because it is just almost on borderline steamy, and I love it. I just love the way the two characters connect in this novel and what you would do for love. Like, that's what I really like about this novel. Now, it is all about mermaids and sirens in a small town. It's all about what you risk to be with the person you love, and does that mean risking your 2 legs? I don't know. You should definitely check this book out. I love YA and I love mermaid books, so reading this was just so refreshing because mermaids, like, I want to be one. Like, can I be one now, please? I'm trying to convince the author, please Erin, put me in book 3. I need to be a mermaid. The next one I'm recommending is Remember Yesterday by Pint It Done. This is part of the companion series that she's written, and this is book 2 in that companion series. Now this follows in the future after book 1 about the sister of the girl in book 1, and she's slightly grown up, and there's a relationship that builds between like 2 unlikely people, which I really like. I like the idea of finding love in somebody that you just would never thought you'd find love in. This is a story about set in the future where people originally are sent a memory from their future to determine what their future is going to be. So their future self sends a memory back in time to tell you what their future is going to be. And there's lots of like mind powers in this book, like people with different mind powers. And it's about a girl trying to save her sister in the past from killing herself to prevent these future memories coming back. It's like really intricate and detailed, but this series is so fantastic. And the romance in here, like I said, it's that budding romance of when you're young and you meet your first person. It's like, do I like you? I think I should hate you, but I actually really like you. I thought it was really interesting, and I really like Pint It Done's writing. So she's very fluid, you read through it really quickly, and yeah, the romance in here is stellar. Next, I'm talking about a book called Burning Glass by Catherine Prudy. Now, this book is like something I'm currently reading, and I'm really enjoying this book. Like, I see this book being the first 5-star I give in a while. Like, it's almost got this Russian Empire kind of feel to it, but it's about a girl who's an aurora seer. I think I said that right. And it's where she can feel other people's emotions, but her powers are slightly heightened, where she can actually feel the emotions of dead people, animals, where normally it's just humans. Like, you shouldn't really be able to touch blood of a dead person and feel their feelings from when they were alive. So she's kind of heightened, and everyone calls her wild. She lives in this covenant, and in this world, the emperor, he has to have an aura seer next to him to use that aura seer to see if he is under threat with anyone in the kingdom. And it's the aura seer is killed and has to be replaced. So the prince goes to the covenant to get a new aura seer, somebody who's the highest age. But when he gets there, and what you read is that there's been this massive fire in this covenant. I'm not going to say why or how, and the majority of the aura seers in this covenant have died, and it's basically left up to our main character to kind of take the reins and go and become the new aura seer, although she has no control over her powers and she's quite young. Now, Sonia is a really interesting character, and she meets this prince who comes and collects her, who is the brother of the emperor, who is really distant and mysterious, and then that's where the kind of romance starts to bud. Like, it's like friendship and trust, and then they're constantly having these issues because obviously, like, are her feelings real because she's an aurora seer? Is she just feeling the feelings of others? But the relationship between them buds, and it's so wonderful to read. also in here there's an anti-romance that I really like between the brother and Sonia, because he's very forceful and horrible and wants to use her and overpower her, and he's just horrible. Like there's like a slight scene of domestic abuse in here which is really touched me, but it's just such a great read. His take on like, is it Russian Empire? Is it other European influences in this novel? Like it was so interesting to read. I'm about 100 pages left to finish. I will finish it today, and I actually can't wait for the sequel. Like please, Catherine, if you're watching this, like if you've got a spare proof of book 2, you know, I will look after it. Look at the space I can give it. Look at the love my family of books can give your book, okay? Just, you know, if you want to send me it, I will forever cherish it and read it, and just, I'll put it next to this and it will be fantastic. So yes, I really like Burning Glass. You should definitely go and check it out. And the grand finale for this video is of course The Gatekeepers' Sons, and just kind of the Gatekeepers saga in general. I'm reading 1 to 3 with you guys for my readers, Gatekeepers of Greek read along this month. And just so you know, if you like what I'm about to say, this book is free to download on all ebook sites, so I recommend you go and check that out before it gets taken off, because free book, I mean, hello. Also, I designed the cover, so if you want to support, go and get the book. But this book is about a girl getting in between 2 Greek gods who are brothers, and she basically, Teresa watches her parents die, right? And then she's in this coma where she meets these 2 brothers who turn out to be gods. She thinks it's just a dream. Of course, she's in a coma. You wouldn't really expect to meet Greek gods when you're in a coma. She thinks it's a dream and she thinks she's manipulating it, but she's actually not. Now, then she gets invited into the underworld and she gets put on this deal where she basically has to avenge her parents' deaths, and also in between that getting kind of caught up with this whole romance between these 2 brothers, which one she's gonna pick. It's a really interesting novel, and for a free book, it's fantastic. I'm really enjoying reading this series. I've just finished book 2, so I'm gonna be moving on to book 3 of this series, so you've got to check it out and let me know what you think. Why I like this book is because there's almost that kind of competition romance, and I always find it quite interesting. Not a love triangle, but like a love V, where it's like 2 brothers and the girl, and it's kind of like that, like, you know, a love V, not a love triangle. I really like love Vs, and I think reading this is super duper interesting, and I like that whole competition aspect, so I'm definitely interested to seeing how this series ends, because I'm like, what's gonna happen? Who's she gonna end up with? So yes, Gatekeepers' Sons, you should definitely check it out. Obviously, the link will be left down below. So there you have it. They are the books that I've talked about romances today. What I want to know is, I want to know what books you like that, and or what your favourite romances in books are, or your favourite ship other persons or people's are. So let me know in the comments down below. Give this video a humongous thumbs up, and if you're new here, please do come and subscribe for like quite a lot of videos in a week. Like if you want to like use me and procrastinate, you can. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all again in another video. Bye bye.